today we've come to a viaduct on A1. You know, thousands and thousands of people use this viaduct in West Yorkshire daily and don't even realise what they're actually going over. So today what we've decided to do on Colin the head rule of everything is come to Wentbridge Viaduct in Pontefract, near Pontefract, to show your people who are using this viaduct every day what this viaduct's all about. The viaduct itself is on the Great Norfolk Road, otherwise known as the A1, and it's a north-south artery, probably one of the busiest roads in the country, and it moves north to south from Scotland down to London. Right, just a little bit about the viaduct. It opened in 1961. And in 1998, the actual viaduct became a Grade 2 listed building, and it also won an award from the Concrete Society. When it was first built, that Wentbridge Viaduct, it was the only viaduct of its kind in the world. So it was a world first. This viaduct in Wentbridge near Pontefract was a world first, and it's still here today being used by cars every day. It was also the largest viaduct in Europe. During construction, high-tensity cables were used to strung it across this valley. This is the valley, this is the Went Valley below us, as you can see. If you look down there, you know, you can see River Went, and obviously all these motorists that are just flying by me don't realise how much engineering went into building this viaduct. It's a concrete viaduct first of its time, and it's here in West Yorkshire, Wentbridge. The reason for the Wentbridge Viaduct is to cross the River Went and the Went Valley. Now the River Went itself, just a few facts about the River Went. It rises at Street House, and obviously goes through Ackworth, Nostell Priory, Ackworth, and then obviously it goes through Wentbridge, down the Went Valley, and eventually spills out into the River Don. So this is the River Went. So here we are now, we're at the bottom of the valley. We're at the bottom of Went Valley here in Wentbridge. And as you can see behind me, this is the Wentbridge Viaduct. Now, a lot of people just drive over it all the time, right? And they don't really know what they're actually driving over. But if you look at the size of this large, vast valley we're in, it's really, to be fair, the actual viaduct it's a part of its motorway heritage. I mean, as you can see, these two large stanchions that come down at either side at viaduct to support it middle of viaduct. And the actual viaduct itself, there were actually high-tensity cables that were actually drooped across the valley to support the actual viaduct itself. Like I've already mentioned earlier on, when it was built, this viaduct, it was the first viaduct of its kind in the world, so it was world first back in 1961. So that really, to be fair, it makes it part of our motorway heritage. You know, it was a world first, and it was built here at Wentbridge. Oh, I mean, how can you believe it? This motorway bridge is a Grade 2 listed building. And it's just it's a modern structure, really. It's not like it's an old tumbling down wreck. You know, it's a motorway bridge, and it's still being used to this day. The majority of people who are using A1 don't even know they're going over it. They're over it in 2 seconds. That's all it takes. 2 seconds to drive over that viaduct. As you can see, there's a walkway that runs all the way underneath. It's like a little gangplank carriageway. That actually takes you up onto the carriageway itself. It's obviously for inspection purposes and maintenance purposes. It's gated off at both sides at Valley. You can't get down there. Public cannot get access to that walkway. And that runs all the way underneath the actual carriageway, and it runs right to the other side of the valley. You know what I mean? So it's quite an intriguing piece of engineering, really. You know, and it's just sat here. So we're here at Wentbridge Viaduct. We can hear traffic thundering above us heads. And we're just inside one of these concrete buttresses, stanchions, whatever you want to call it. And look at width of them. Look how wide they are. No wonder Concrete Society give it an award. I mean, it's just absolutely colossal. I know it's only a motorway bridge, but never mind. But hey, it's here. It's still serving its purpose. We've run out of things to say about Wentbridge Viaduct now. I'm just going to go somewhere else. Colin the edge world of everything.